Hi, I'm Emma Rice, and you're listening to the Sorta Stupid Sports Podcast.
There we go.
There we go. Our special guest.
Everything out before it.
Find
And
the one
after.
section where there's no sound.
Thank you. There we go. Thanks.
All
right,
Special
so-
guests. We're just full of special guests on this podcast.
Let's start out with the one, I guess, football game that happened this past week, the Pro Bowl.
Or two. Senior Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
but
I mean, how did the Senior Bowl go? Do you know?
it went.
Here, hold on. Noah's looking it up. Because no one paid attention to the Senior Bowl.
I wonder why.
I only noticed when...
Do they televise it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
I only really
Talk about
noticed when Terry McLaurin got a 40-yard pass on a flea flicker, because apparently they didn't care either and were running flea flickers. But yeah, no, it happened. People stood out. Might have got some draft capital there. But yeah, that's the other game that happened. It was probably more important.
I would say at least.
Scouts and
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
at least in the
probably-
Senior Bowl, you want to look good because
Yeah.
your career might ride on it.
They
And-
probably actually tried in that game.
Yeah, making the All-Star game, you already know you're one of the best in the league, so who cares?
Yeah, you have nothing left to prove.
Until
Unless you're Juju and you hurt yourself.
He's fine now,
kid.
allegedly.
What was the injury?
I don't know. I thought it was like a leg injury or something, and he walked
Poor
off.
kid. Hey, just like Antonio Brown in the Bengals game.
So the Pro Bowl, the AFC, they came, they saw, they conquered 26-7 against the NFC. Who was the coach? Was it Andy Reid?
No, it was the
AFC 's head
AFC. I don't know. But the NFC side was the good old Jason Garrett.
Who is apparently
Yeah, who
still
is
a
that
coach?
He's the Marvin Lewis
How
of
do
the NFC, boys and
How
girls.
do they choose coaches?
That's another good question. Because I mean, when John Gruden is one of the coaches, you know you made a
jeez.
mistake somewhere.
Yeah.
That's
By
a good
signing him
question.
for 10 years, $100 million.
That is a good
Is
question.
it a fan vote like the players?
I
don't
don't
know.
No way.
I don't.
There's no way.
I
that
mean, I would have
Garrett
fan
got a
voted.
vote.
I
I'm
would have
not
fan
even
voted
sure that-
John Gruden just because.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Why not?
I'm not even sure the Cowboys would want a fan vote for Jason Garrett on the NFC.
But listen, the game, like I didn't get a chance to watch the game.
par
Wasn't
for
it
the best.
Sunday night?
No, it was at 3 o'clock on Sunday.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
we
also
were-
it was
weird.
weird.
We were still busy. Noah and I were busy with things, and I couldn't watch the game. But I watched highlights, and they did not look like they were trying.
No.
But it was
No one
fun
did.
to see Mike Evans and other
Honestly,
wide receivers.
Pretty sure there was a
playing
play when
defense.
they were fumbled the ball 3 times.
Oh yeah,
I have a suggestion.
suggest away.
We get rid of the Pro Bowl as we know it and make it a 7-on-7 flag football.
I'd enjoy that.
They would be able to try harder because there's no fear of getting hurt, like unless you cramp up or something.
Oh, that's Vontez Perfect in there somehow.
Yeah,
He starts
Yeah.
playing
Well,
dirty.
I mean,
purpose.
but like, and you're not gonna have linemen.
But like, what happens
which
to
is
those
sad.
linemen? Who
I mean,
get
I still
elected
think-
to the Pro Bowl.
I still think that there should be an honor, like you were honored on being like the All-Pro team, basically, like something like
Yeah,
that.
and that's what all people really care about is they get that on their plaque.
right.
When you get into the Hall of Fame, it was like he had this many Pro Bowls and this many rings and this many accolades. Like that's all you really need. Once you get that vote that you made it, it's like, oh well, making my Hall of Fame case. That's all I really need right now.
And honestly, I don't know, but I would guess if you ask the linemen, "Hey, do you really want to play this game?" They'd probably be like, "No, I don't."
Because I mean, even if they're not taking it seriously, it's very easy to get
It's a
injured
physical
on
game
a
still.
yeah, especially on the line.
yeah,
Like if someone runs up behind you and runs into you because they're not paying attention, not caring, roll up on your ankle.
but if you're just playing
done.
some backyard 7-on-7 flag,
Good old time.
I mean, it'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then keep dodgeball. 'Cause
Now,
dodgeball's fun.
I think the skills competition's fun to watch.
I watched
like,
it.
yeah,
It
those-
wasn't- it
those
those
wasn't
are
bad.
entertaining
Yeah.
because it's just them, having fun,
It was
goofing off.
super fun watching
But
Adam
the,
Thielen and Von Miller do the
Von
passing
Miller was
competition.
terrible. He
Von
had 2
Miller looked
points.
so bad.
Yeah,
Thielen,
Good
though.
thing he's a linebacker.
Thielen had 10 points. It wasn't bad.
Did Thielen play quarterback in high school or something?
He threw a pass in the game and had
that
it
was an
picked off.
interception.
So
That was off his back foot. I think he was rolling left, and he turned around real fast and just flung it up.
didn't you go to Minnesota State College or something?
Probably.
I think he was undrafted, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
turn out to be an All-Pro.
I love how when you look at the results of the game on Google, though, it says like it shows it like a season. Like AFC finishes the season 1-0, NFC is 0-1. Like I don't know, it's just like okay,
They
cool.
don't even care.
They
to,
have
like, change it.
standings.
Oh my!
just like in the Super Bowl, right?
This is a
foreshadowing.
This is kind of fun. So they get paid to go to the Pro Bowl.
Oh yeah, if you
Oh.
win,
If
like
you
you get a bonus.
if you win, you get $67,000.
Really?
That's not that much.
I mean,
For
they,
us.
I'm sure
A
they don't
bonus.
care. But...
If you lose, you get $34,000.
Oh yeah,
oh, who cares?
show up and phone it in for $34,000.
Super Bowl participants who were
I'd do
selected
that
to
all
receive
day.
midpoint, they get $50,500 for not playing.
Tom Brady
Wow.
probably has a lot of just not
And then
playing.
Super Bowl losing participants receive $59,000. That doesn't make sense, but all right.
Speaking of the game, the rushing, yeah, there wasn't a lot of running involved. The NFC had 47 yards on 9 carries, and there's 54 yards on 18 carries for the AFC. So, you know, passing league, pretty much.
I mean, and
Mahomes
again,
did his thing.
I feel like running involves more physicality from
Yeah,
the full
and they're
team.
just-
Like you're just gonna chuck
Yeah.
it up there and call it a day.
Mahomes tried his no look pass to Juju, and
Juju
was
dropped
like,
it because he's not used to
Because
having a
Ben
great.
Roethlisberger doesn't do that.
No, 'cause
Do
Ben-
not disrespect. I don't like Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, okay,
okay? But you don't have to take it so far.
Yeah, we do.
He doesn't throw no-look passes while running.
He just chucks up and hopes someone catches it,
Yeah.
Fair.
like Eli Manning.
And there's no. Oh yeah, I guess we forgot to mention if you don't hear Troy's voice in the background, that's because Troy's not here today.
Poor guy's
So we
sick.
can. Yeah, he's a little sick today, so
So-
get well soon, Troy.
I think we
Love you,
should
Troy.
all give him an Eli's the best. Yes.
No.
No. Yeah.
No,
you're right.
no.
Eli's the GOAT.
He'd have to
No,
be like in the
shut
hospital. He'd have to be in the hospital for me to admit that Eli's, you know. But yeah,
So-
we can make all the Eli slander we want. He can't stop
Hey,
us.
Troy, Eli's the worst.
Wow, okay. He has 2 rings.
Let's not go
He
that
does.
far. Let's go with moving on because that's basically the Pro Bowl
Yeah, the
right
Pro
there.
Bowl.
Yeah.
It happened.
Well, I am watching highlights while you guys are talking because that's how much I care about the Pro Bowl. But I'm watching highlights of the senior game. And what's really funny about these to me is that, let's be honest, usually when you're a senior in like a good college program, it's because you weren't good enough to leave when you were a junior or a
Fair.
redshirt sophomore.
I mean, fair.
So it's like, honestly, from now on, I feel like I'm going to be watching these games because it's very entertaining.
Who's the starting quarterbacks?
Dude from Duke,
Uh,
Will Greer
Will Greer
played for
and
one, and
Daniel Jones, I believe, is the
yes,
something Jones.
yeah, and I mean there were others obviously, but it's just really entertaining to see because some of these seniors are actually good, and maybe they had injuries along the way, but it's like I don't know, there are a few really good ones. Oh, there's the flea flicker. Yeah, so like I don't know. I feel like this is it's the Pro Bowl of college, but way more entertaining because
And
it's
it means more.
It's literally their last shot to make a statement as to why they should be drafted because they're seniors and they can't come back after this.
Those uniforms look disgusting.
Oh, they're gross.
Like, I don't like brown and orange
Well, it's
typically.
black
Oh.
and orange because
Oh,
it's
is it black and-
Reese's. It's the
That's-
Reese's Senior Bowl.
Well, yeah, that's why I thought it would. It looked brown on your screen.
It's blackish.
I don't know, like
But,
the
yeah,
Bengals
no, there
pulled
was-
it off. I don't, and I think the Browns pulled it off to an extent, but those don't look appetizing.
Yeah, there was a well, I mean, you don't eat the wrapper on a Reese's cup.
That's fair.
But
some
there
people
was
do.
a field goal on these highlights where it went wide right,
Yeah, but
and
usually-
that guy probably lost his shot.
College kickers, they don't belt long field goals anyways.
Well,
Or
I mean,
field goals in general, mostly.
what about Aguayo?
Roberto Aguayo.
Okay.
Rip.
He's not even in the league anymore.
Roberto.
So this week there's a pretty important game going on
Oh, yeah,
Sunday,
a little
the 53rd Super Bowl between the L.A. Rams and the New England Patriots, who are in there just about every year since
Every year.
2001. So
That's what it feels like anyway, honestly.
Yeah. So Madden had its own little projection, how they usually do before the games, and they had the Rams winning 30-27. And now Matt is going to talk about that whole
Yeah,
scenario.
this is as close as I get to the esports corner for a little bit, so I'm gonna savor it. Okay, so
Said esports once.
Yeah, there's
we're
esports.
gonna count it down. Okay, so as you all know,
First time.
Madden, they predict the Super Bowl every year, and actually back in 2015 was it when the Patriots beat the Seahawks? Was that the year?
Yes.
14.
Yeah. They actually, Madden predicted the exact score and actually got some of these stats exactly perfect. So they're pretty good at this. Over the years, they are 10 out of 15, so they've gotten 10 right, 5 wrong. In recent years, they've gone back and forth, like being correct, being incorrect, being incorrect, being incorrect. Now, the fun fact is, Madden has never been wrong twice in a row. Madden was wrong last year.
Ooh.
So, odds are that when Madden says the Rams are going to win this year, they've never been wrong twice, and they're usually right.
That's crazy.
So the Rams might just win the Super Bowl over the Patriots. And actually, fun fact concerning the Patriots losing, Madden did predict a couple years ago that the Falcons would take an early lead, and then the Patriots would come back in the last seconds of the game and actually win it. They actually called that.
Isn't it
They didn't
true-
call it going into overtime, but they did call like a final second touchdown to seal the game for the Patriots.
And
So,
that was esports.
Yep.
Isn't it true that like Nick Saban and Belichick haven't won on the same year or something like that?
Yeah.
They haven't won, but there was 1 year where neither of them, or 1 or 2 years where neither of them did.
So, Bill Belichick, pretty
Yes.
good coach. Nick Saban, pretty good coach in college.
Yeah.
You know, won some championships. They have not won a championship in the same year since 2003 when they were both with the Patriots.
So if we want to talk about superstition, we got the Madden thing. We got the Patriots Nick Saban thing.
And we all know that Alabama got shellacked in the championship.
Yes, that
Yeah.
they did.
And
close.
I don't really see that happening to the Patriots, but I also didn't see Alabama getting destroyed like that. But there's another thing, but you know, Patriots probably going to win because
Don't say it. Please don't say it.
Hey, I want the Patriots to win.
It's because they have time.
I don't. Okay. In a perfect world, nobody wins. In a perfect world, it goes to like 17 overtimes, and Bill Belichick says like, expletive this, expletive that, I'm taking my team out of here, and they just walk off the field, and there is no winner for Super Bowl 53.
So let me just
0-0.
Let me just go
0-0.
let me just go year by year.
There's
here.
not a single first down the whole game.
2007, Alabama wins the Independence Bowl.
So no one cares.
New England loses to the Giants Sugar Bowl. 2008, Alabama loses Sugar Bowl. New England misses playoffs. 2009, Alabama wins, but the Patriots lose to the Ravens. 2010, Patriots lost in the divisional round. In 2011, the Tide win. New England loses to the Giants again in the Super Bowl. 2012, Alabama wins again. New England loses to the Ravens in the AFC Championship game. 2013, Alabama lost. New England lost in the championship game. 14, the Patriots won, but that's when Alabama lost to Ohio State.
Yeet.
15, the Tide won, but the Patriots lost in the AFC Championship game. 16, Patriots won. Alabama lost to Clemson. And then 17, Alabama wins. And then the Patriots lost to the Eagles. This year, Alabama lost. So
wait, the statistic though is simply that they never win at the same time. It doesn't say anything about them both losing. So
Yeah,
they could
true.
still both.
They
both
both
lose.
could still,
They
yeah.
could lose.
yeah.
But like,
That's
if
crazy.
Nick Saban would have already won, then
Right.
you know,
That'd
like,
have
the
been-
Then
it
it
was
locks up.
guaranteed that the
Yeah.
Rams were winning the Super Bowl.
I just can't wait to see who the refs cheer for in this game.
Hopefully
Yeah,
they're
you're
not
right.
from LA like the last ones were.
Yeah.
All right. So let's set up the game. It's going to be at 6:30 on CBS. It's going to be in Atlanta, like we said already. Tony Romo is calling his first Super Bowl,
I'm
I'm
happy
so
about this.
excited.
probably with Jim Nance. I'd imagine.
Have
Their
you
team,
seen?
right?
I saw like a picture on Twitter where it's like Tony Romo's sitting up in the box and he's got like this deadpan stare. It's like when you realize that you should have used your Nostradamus powers while you were playing football.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Speaking of announcing, Troy sent me this on Instagram a while back.
Oh,
During
boy.
the Pro Bowl, this is what Jason Witten said. Eric Ebron was Patrick Mahomes' guy all year.
He was not.
Oh,
For the record.
Witten.
Get him out of
What
the
is
booth.
wrong
Okay,
with
did you see
you?
that he broke the Pro Bowl trophy? He tried to lift it up to hand it at
He's
the end
never
of the
had
game.
a trophy before with the Cowboys.
Oh.
No, he went to like, so the Pro Bowl trophy had like the topper on the pedestal, but he didn't realize that the topper and the pedestal were connected, so he tried to just lift it by the top, and the top came off of the bottom half and just and the guy he's handing it to just stares like, oh my gosh, you just broke the trophy. And then Witten's just like, yeah.
So
Whoops.
So, in other words, Witten probably won't be.
He's not getting it.
listen. According to Witten, touchdowns matter, so you never know.
That's true.
Let's talk about storylines in this game. And let's look at who do you think the X factors are going to be for the Patriots?
Well, you want to say Tom Brady because, of course, Tom Brady is the centerpiece of this team. But when I think of like an X factor, I think of a hidden weapon. See, you can't say Tom Brady because you expect Tom Brady to be consistent year in, year out, Super Bowl in, Super Bowl out. So, like, the question is, who do you really need to get going to keep your hopes alive to win this game? And it's probably the run game. It's got to be any list of their running backs, because they have several at this point.
I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be their run game if we're referring to their running backs, because like people like James White and Rex Burkhead really don't run it, but they catch out of the backfield a lot.
Rex Burkhead did have that game-winning touchdown run, though.
Yeah, that's
I think
true.
if you combine the run game of Sony Michel then with the hybrid
This
style of the other guys.
This is the first time in a while that the Patriots have had a running back, like
They have a
true
core.
running back
Yeah.
That's
that is scary. Like Sony Michel, like from Georgia, like when he was in Georgia, it was like this guy is special and he can be a game changer. And when he went to the Patriots, it was like, you've got to be kidding me. Of all teams to finally get that running back piece that honestly they don't even really need to make it to the Super Bowl.
No, you're right.
And now they got him, and I think that makes this team incredibly dangerous on the offensive side of the ball.
I mean, how many games did the dude play? And he had 931 rushing yards this season.
Yeah, he was injured for quite a bit.
So I mean, this guy's pretty good. What about you, Darren? Who's an X factor for the Patriots?
So, I think it's James White. Now, last year in the Super Bowl, James White had 7 carries, 45 yards, and a touchdown. But receiving-wise, he had 2 catches for 21 yards, and they lost. Okay, so then you go to the Falcons and Patriots game.
We all know what he did.
We all know
Dude,
he had just 14 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown, plus 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah, he
Including-
was.
the game
So
winner.
you got to feed the guy the ball because in the Super Bowl he just scores touchdowns. That's what he does.
He can eat.
He can eat. And earlier he had, 15 catches against the Chargers?
Yeah, he had a good game.
If you can't contain James White, then you're going to be in trouble.
He's easily one of the best receiving backs in the league right now.
Definitely.
yeah.
Because Julian Edelman's going to show up like he always does in the playoffs. Gronk, maybe,
Yeah.
And then you got Sony Michel, who I think is going to have a great game. But James White, to me, is the X factor. Because Tom Brady's he's been there several times. He knows what to do. So I think it's James White.
I think you guys are underrating one guy.
Go
And
for it.
his name is Cordero Patterson.
Okay.
And I say this because he's a great in the return game. They use him. I don't know how much I think they use him a little bit in the passing game, but they use him a lot on these little end arounds because the dude's quick.
He is.
So I see the dude breaking off a big run in the game. You never know.
I mean, I guess if you do have, if you have one unexpected kind of lucky play, that can just give you basically a free touchdown. It turns the tide a little bit. It gives you some padding to work with. So I think if you sneak him in there, it could be a game changer.
And I mean, throughout the playoffs, the Patriots have run the ball 83.3% of the time. So they're getting pretty creative with what they're doing. So moving on, who's the X factor for the Rams?
So for the Rams, I mean, I think it's got to be. I think you have to stick with the run game there. I mean, honestly, they got a lot of good wide receivers. Cooks could absolutely go off against his former team, and that would be
a nice storyline. That would
Oh,
be
yeah.
nice.
That'd be
He already
huge for
eliminated
him.
the Saints. So,
But when you have Todd Gurley and C.J. Anderson in the backfield, it's hard to
Well, I guess that's the
not
question.
be
Is
afraid of that.
what is Todd Gurley gonna do? Are they gonna play him?
yeah.
What's the deal here?
They came out and said that Todd Gurley is their game plan.
So CJ,
I think-
is the backup, or are they running them tandem?
They might split.
they'll probably
I
run
don't
them
know.
tandem like they did in the game versus the Cowboys,
Yeah.
where they both went over 100.
Yeah, but then the game after that, well, I guess
Well-
the championship game. What?
Neither
Gurley was kind
of them
of
really. CJ had 43 yards, I believe. They didn't. The running game on either side didn't get
right.
much going on.
I think Todd Gurley's the X factor. Because, so you ride him the whole season because he had 21
He had
touchdowns
a
this year or
good
something.
season.
And then the last game, I'm kind of 4 carries, 10 yards, and then he didn't even play the second half. You need Todd Gurley to ball out to win this Super Bowl.
If Todd Gurley gets rolling,
Because
that's it.
I'm not even talking about running. I mean, like running, but also he's a good receiving back too.
He's one of those complete backs that you don't get much. He does everything.
Yeah.
So I think, and maybe this is a little bit out left field.
Georgia running backs, man.
Oh yeah,
RBU.
They're beast.
they really are. But I think Jared Goff is the X factor in this game, and I'll tell you why. Because especially down the stretch, except for the game against the Saints, he did not play well.
No.
That's true.
He had
And
one heck of a game against the
He
Saints.
did.
he put the team on
This
his
is
back.
true.
And I think if Jared Goff takes the reins and really establishes himself as the Rams quarterback, and I think he can drive this team. I think he is the X factor. If he doesn't play well, they don't win.
I think I'm more comfortable in trusting their run game than I am in their pass game. So, I would say that Jared Goff is the one that you would have to be worried about whether or not he shows up that game.
Now let me ask you this: if the Rams win, is it a start for a new dynasty for the Rams?
No.
I don't think they're quite there yet.
You don't think they're there yet?
That's the big storyline. Like that's what I've been seeing all over
That's
the
what the
place.
Patriots did when they beat the Rams 2001.
They beat the greatest show on turf.
They did.
I mean,
And now you're just beating probably the greatest quarterback of all time.
The most complete team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to make a drive last half a quarter and then score a touchdown at the end of it.
Like the Patriots.
They have opened up. It feels like every game that way.
They just make it look so easy.
If
they don't make mistakes.
No,
No.
not often.
Very limited.
They had a surprising amount of flags against the Chiefs,
Yeah.
and they still
won the game.
pulled it out.
So if you're expecting turnovers and stuff from the Patriots, it doesn't happen that much. Tom Brady did throw a pick in the end zone when I was just kind of like,
That was a really off.
that wasn't
throw
a Tom.
by him.
Yeah, I was like, what are you? That's not Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? But other than that, they're usually pretty clean.
Can we talk about how eerily similar these Rams teams are? Like the one from 2001 and this one.
How so?
You got a stud at running back. They had what's his name?
Marshall Faulk.
Marshall
What
Faulk.
a man.
He was pretty darn
They
good.
have
He
Todd
was pretty
Gurley now.
good.
He's all right.
I'd say they're pretty similar too,
They had
as running backs.
Oh yeah, they had a really good. I mean, Cooper Kupp's not playing, but they got two other really good receivers. Plus, the team back then, led by Isaac Bruce, had an insane receiving core. And I will say, I think Kurt Warner is going to end up far better than Jared Goff.
No.
Yes, but
Well, that's a hot take.
Kurt Warner was pretty good though.
I mean, he was good.
Kurt Warner's an all-time great. He really is.
I
But
mean, even
He's there.
okay. So,
And he's got one of the best stories ever.
little tiny side question. What was it? Was it Kurt Warner's final year when he went to the Super Bowl with the Cardinals?
It might have been.
Okay.
It was toward the end of his
Yeah.
career.
Would you prefer that quarterback, that like final year Kurt Warner, or final year Peyton Manning?
Final year Kurt Warner because Peyton Manning's arm was a noodle arm. He
He got
And
benched
his
by
neck was
Brock
broken.
Osweiler.
No, he
That's
got
like-
he got hurt. He didn't get benched. He got hurt.
Yeah, he had something in his foot.
Okay.
He did have something with his
He
foot.
it was a rare kind of injury too.
Yeah, it was something weird, but like they didn't talk about it at first, so everyone thought he got benched.
Yeah.
But it was his foot. But yeah, like Kurt Warner, especially near the end of his career, stayed really reliable. Like you didn't have to worry
Yeah.
about him quote getting old. Like he was still good old Kurt Warner.
I mean-
so I'll give him that.
Like Brett Favre. Oh.
So, but
Anyway.
like,
Brett Favre still played pretty good for. His
I mean, he
last
also
few
played
years.
for too long.
He
but-
did, but he still
could have
played
gone
all
to the Super
right.
Bowl if he hadn't
Thrown an
up
interception.
against his body 50
Yeah.
yards that way
To the
other
Everyone-
team.
was
Everyone
it
makes
Tracy
mistakes.
Porter? I think it was Tracy
yeah, it was
Porter.
Tracy Porter. Yeah.
But back on topic.
But yeah, comparing it,
like
like,
comparing the two teams.
the Rams of this year, they have Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods,
They used to have Isaac Bruce and
Torrey Holt.
Torrey Holt.
Ooh.
Pretty good
Pretty
players.
receiving tandem.
Yeah.
They didn't have
I
a tight end that I can remember. They don't really have a tight end now.
Uh,
Now I don't remember any studs on the defense.
Ernie Conwell was the tight end.
Yeah, oh yeah, good old
And
Ernie.
Jeff Robinson,
Who
he
were-
was a fullback tight
My
end.
name is Jeff.
Hey, you know who the tight end for the Rams is now?
Gerald Everett.
And no,
Yeah.
I thought Everett was a receiver. I was talking about Higbee.
And Tyler Higbee.
Yeah,
Who?
exactly.
Yeah.
But did they have any studs on their defense, Darren? That
They
you're
had
looking?
London Fletcher.
I don't remember.
That's true, I know. And
So-
other than that, like, I'm
We
looking at
too
the
young.
names, and I mean, they didn't have no Ndamukong Suh, Aaron
Yeah.
Donald.
So I
you
think
know, like-
this team is a little bit better, than the greatest show on turf, but I think their offenses, I guess I should say, are very eerily similar.
But it's different time though.
Not
It
only
is.
they could get a
This is
stadium.
now more of like a gunslinger type of 2018 gunslinger type. 2001.
Very
you
much
Oh, that was
football.
run the ball. Like,
Yeah, it wasn't like
shove it down your throat football.
throw the ball 60 times a game or something like that, like Ben Roethlisberger does.
Now, looking at the Patriots, though, I think this team is far better. I mean, what did you have back then? You had Brady, Vinatieri, and Willie McGinnis.
But you had the goat
Teddy
Vinatieri.
Bruschi? Teddy Bruschi, maybe? I don't remember. But, this was a team, I think, that came out of the well works. This was nothing, Now we know.
Now we know.
Now we know that they're going to go down as the greatest
Do you think
Greatest football dynasty.
I can't
Like,
say team because it's only been Brady and Belichick.
Well, yeah, but you've had
There's
pieces
been a
that
lot
are
of
there that are,
moves.
but you do have some consistency, and you
Like
have
you
people
have
that are
James
there
White,
for-
Gronkowski, and Edelman.
Oh, they had Kevin
Yeah.
Folk as a running back, Troy Brown,
Oof.
and David Platten,
I don't know.
Terry
So-
Terry Glenn.
Okay, all right.
There you go. He's a name. I remember him.
He's a name.
He's a name.
He's a
Rip 'em.
person.
But
Rest in peace.
so I think
And Teddy Bruschi and Ty Law, and Mike Vrabel.
Oh, Vrabel.
Vrabel.
They had some.
Did he catch
Richard
a touchdown
Seymour.
that game?
I don't know.
But
Maybe.
I think
I don't know.
I think this game it's probably going to end up being a good game, though we're not excited.
I
for
want it to be. A good
Yeah, like
game.
it will be a
Yeah.
high quality performance.
Not like
I just
Seahawks
don't.
Broncos when it was like 40-8. That wasn't.
Yeah.
That
If
wasn't
this game
good.
turns into a blowout on either side, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I
That's
mean, I
accurate.
guess
Especially how
I
the
guess I could say
championship
that
games.
every year, but
the championship games were close
Oh, they were good
overtime. And you don't have to go into overtime, but if it's just a close game,
yeah.
Brady's probably gonna get the ball to win the game, and Brady's gonna do what Brady does.
Dude, last year's game, like I'm thinking about it, like
It was
comparing it, like last year's game was great,
Mhm.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch.
and then comparing it to the championship, like the NFC championship, like it was a good football game, but it wasn't like amazing to watch.
Something about Nick Foles last year, just taking it to Tom Brady, like bit by bit, bringing
Oh,
his
yeah.
team to like,
So good.
It was
Such a
a great,
good-
great story.
It
so
was
entertaining.
so good.
You know,
So
you got
entertaining.
you got the Patriots dominating for 20 years. You
Yeah.
know, like they're the dynasty, like of the
And then this
like the
young
Cowboys
gun
used to
comes
be.
in. Well, I guess he's not too young.
And you
but
can
still.
compare the Patriots to like the Bulls with like Michael Jordan, where they were like dominant for so many years, or like I guess the Warriors now when they have
Everybody.
everybody, yeah.
And I mean,
Or the Yankees back in the day when they won like so many in a row.
No one cares.
Yeah, no one cares. But
even
Big Red Machine, baby.
even though we don't think it, like what an amazing storyline this would be if this is, Patriots lose and this is the start of a Rams dynasty.
I really don't think it will be.
I don't want an LA dynasty.
I don't want it either, but like how
I don't think they're
cool-
that good.
How cool of a passing of a torch would that be though? From
I
Tom
don't-
Brady beating them
I
Right?
don't like dynasties.
and then Brady losing
I like
against them.
having.
I like dynasties if it's my own team.
No, no. No, like I don't know. Something about a dynasty. It's like if there's a dynasty, then the league is working wrong. If there's a dynasty where one team
just
can
can't
just
catch
sit
up.
on its laurels and keep winning,
Mhm.
or even like it might take some effort, but like that means that the league drafting process isn't working. The caps, like the salary cap, isn't working. The free agency moves. That something's not working.
Right.
Or
If you have a different team every year making it to the Super Bowl, or two different teams, I should say, making it every year.
That's why
That's the way it
baseball is
should be.
great because the World Series like every
It's
year,
different every year.
pretty much.
I kind of disagree with you though, because I mean, look at the Patriots.
What do you mean?
Like, they don't really go out and do
They might
free
make a-
agency.
Maybe like one or
They-
two.
Well, okay,
spots.
yeah, I
Their
will say-
contracts are very, they work together. I mean, Tom Brady takes pay
No,
cuts
you're
to
right.
get
I will
weapons
say
around
that the
him.
Patriots dynasty is a little bit different than your normal dynasty because, like, you look at the Bulls and they were just stacked. Like you look
Right.
at the Warriors now and they're just stacked. I will say that the Patriots are a little different. Like, wait, who's that dude?
Yeah,
and why is
exactly.
he good now? So
Why
I'll
is
give
there a
him credit
white
for
wide
that.
receiver out there tearing up everyone?
Yeah, like I'll give him credit for that. But more often than not, dynasties
I mean,
are just
yeah.
a sign of they got stacked, and it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are the only example of that where they don't have.
And I
mean,
think that goes back to Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
really.
Oh yeah,
I mean, but
Like-
honestly, like think about it. There's one very consistent name with the Patriots that's like the big star, and it's Tom Brady. And then everyone else, it seems like
They're shuffling
rotating.
pieces in and out.
Gronk,
Yeah.
but he's injured 90% of his career anyways.
Yeah,
so
and
like,
he hasn't been there.
he hasn't
forever.
done much.
But
yet.
still,
Yeah.
like to go back to my original point with the Patriots, they're a different kind of dynasty, but I don't like knowing that, 4 out of the past 5 years they've made it to the Super Bowl. Next year, there's an 80% chance they're
Yeah.
gonna make it again. Like, I don't like
And
that.
like we talk about the Rams making a dynasty, but what about the Chiefs? They're still right there.
I think
yeah.
the
They're a
Chiefs could
couple
be a dynasty
defensive
earlier than
pieces
the
away
Rams.
from
Once they get a good defense, which they fired their
Patrick
defensive
Mahomes,
coordinator.
better than Jared Goff.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean, they have like 3 running backs, but this Williams guy,
Honestly,
not
I
bad.
I wouldn't be shocked to see like how we had the Cavs versus Golden State for a while. I wouldn't be shocked
Rams
to
and
see
Chiefs.
Rams and Chiefs, or maybe a Rams cycling with.
The NFC's pretty tough though.
Yeah, I
Maybe-
could see
maybe-
the Rams cycling out like every other year, but I could see
Oh,
right
yeah.
now the Chiefs dominating that side for a while, especially with the offensive
'Cause
pieces
there's
they
not-
have, and then all they
Maybe
gotta
the
do is add
Colts,
some defense.
but
And like
I
right
would
now
say-
the Chiefs are, I think, a clear cut to be pretty good for a long
Yeah.
time. Everyone
yeah.
else is kind of like,
The
I mean,
Colts-
you
the
got
Colts
the
have
Patriots.
the Colts have a road to that, but they're still very young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have a lot more experience, except for the quarterback, but apparently he doesn't need that.
And he's played pretty well. In the
So,
playoffs.
and I mean,
Yeah.
the Browns are on their way up, so they'll be able to make
Okay.
playoffs. They are. Hey,
No,
no,
okay,
no,
yeah, you're right.
Fan
I
bias
thought,
aside.
no, I thought for a second you were
No,
gonna be like,
I'm
they're on
not-
their way. They're gonna be the next dynasty.
No, I'm not.
You know who's
Troy.
on the way down though? The Steelers. Anyway,
Accurate.
They
We need
are,
a
though.
rebuild. We need a rebuild.
so to kind of wrap this Super Bowl segment up, I want to go around the table, and I guess we'll start with you, Noah. I want you to say your final score of the Super Bowl. I want you to say your Super Bowl MVP, and I want to know why he's your Super Bowl MVP.
All right. So, sticking with my X Factor choices. And you know what? Just on the fact that I've been wrong so many times in these selection processes, I'm going to say that the Rams are going to pull it off. They're going to upset the dynasty for the second year in a row. And Jared Goff is going to get his Super Bowl MVP. He has not the greatest night, not the worst night, but he does a consistent enough job, just getting what he needs, throws a few touchdowns. And of course, Gurley and Anderson are there, but since they're splitting time, neither of them are going to have outstanding nights. And they're going to be able to move the ball on the Patriots' good but not great defense. And they're going to end it up with, let's say, the legs got to get himself a field goal here and there. It's got to happen. I don't know. I'm really bad with numbers. I'm going to say 31 to... Where do I want this? You know what? 27.
31-27 Rams.
Exactly what I was going to say. I would say 31-27 Patriots
Ooh.
was mine. And Sony Michel is going to get the MVP because he's already had 5 touchdowns in this postseason. Not bad. Not bad for a rookie. And he had 29 carries last game. So, the run game is going to be there. And I'm not completely sold on the Rams' rush defense. And I think Michel's going to have himself a pretty good game. And Tom Brady's going to do what Tom Brady does. But I think it's time for a running back. Come back and get an MVP instead of the quarterback.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Rams over the Patriots because I don't want the Patriots to win. So I'm gonna say, 34-31
Ooh.
Rams. I'm gonna say 31-31 in the last few minutes of the game, and the Rams get the ball last, drive it in for a field goal. But somehow, against all odds, even though the Rams win, Tom Brady is going to win the Super Bowl MVP because he scores all of his team's touchdowns. He's 400 yards, no interceptions, and they just can't be like, well, he doesn't get it. I don't know.
Even when he loses.
Even when he loses, he's probably going to he's going to break some record. No, I would say that if the Rams win, it would probably be because one of the 2 running backs stands out early in the game, and they just keep feeding it to him. So, I don't know, 50-50. I'm going to say they just ride the hot hand with CJ, and he racks up over 200 yards somehow.
Ooh.
Maybe a few catches here and there. Well, like between his passing and or his receiving and his rushing. So maybe 150 on the ground and another 50-ish through the air. Maybe a touchdown of each. I don't know.
And he doesn't win an MVP off of that
Well,
performance.
I'm saying if Tom Brady doesn't
It's
lose
almost
the
like
game and still get the MVP, then
it's
I would
almost
say
like
CJ probably gets it.
It's almost like when everyone was saying that LeBron James needs to get finals MVP.
Yeah,
even
like,
though he
it's
got
like that.
beat by Golden State.
It's like that.
You can't give it to
no, I was very much against that at the time. and I also
it
don't like
has
LeBron
happened
James.
before in NBA, but this isn't the NBA.
But fun fact, I looked it up and I can't find it anywhere. If Sonny Michel does get Super Bowl MVP, he'd be the first rookie to do it.
Ooh.
Well, who's the last running back?
So
To get Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah, that is a good.
That's
Go ahead, Blaine. What's your predictions here?
So, I think that the New England Patriots are going to put the Los Angeles Rams in their place.
Ooh.
I think Tom Brady, for his final Super Bowl ring, is going to go out there. He's going to throw 4 touchdowns, and the final score of the game is going to be 38-17. I think Tom Brady wins my Super Bowl MVP because he throws 4 touchdowns, and early he gets, they have, like, as per the usual, a 7-minute drive, and that's what the Rams are going to be expecting, right? Because they've run the ball 83% of the time this playoffs. I think they start out that way. And, Sonny Michel gets his first touchdown. And then I think Tom Brady comes out there because they're not expecting it and just throws all over this terrible Rams second. It's not terrible, but it's not great. And I think Tom Brady shreds them.
I can see it.
And I think
I
Tom
don't
Brady
want to see it, but I can see
hoists
it.
the Lombardi Trophy, hoists the MVP. Is it a trophy? I think they get a trophy.
I
of
think
some
they get a
kind.
little trophy.
And then
Probably.
snaps his fingers and decimates the NFL, just like Thanos. The 6 rings.
So I looked it up, and the last running back to get Super Bowl MVP was Terrell Davis.
What a man.
What a man.
And
yeah.
before that, guy, and some people might know him, Emmitt Smith. You might have heard of him before.
Yeah.
Terrell Davis
I feel like I know
was
that
in
name.
Super Bowl 32.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a bit.
It's
And he
been a
only
bit.
had 30 carries, 157 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Cool.
But what's interesting is the one before Terrell Davis was a kick returner, Desmond Howard.
Shut up.
Hey,
No one cares.
Desmond Howard. Anyway,
I
Yeah.
also like how it says here Ray Lewis won it because he
Led
led
a
a dominant Ravens defense. Come on.
I mean, in defense, the Giants only had like 130 yards in the Super Bowl, and that's like the least amount
Yeah.
because the Giants are
But
terrible.
I'm pretty sure didn't the entire Bears defense or something like that get it one year?
Yeah, probably.
so speaking of the Giants, I just got Troy's Super Bowl prediction. And he's got the Giants winning. He's got Eli Manning winning Super Bowl MVP.
Did he really say that?
No, I'm just making a joke.
I wouldn't put it past him. Yeah, I got it.
He's gonna say-
man coming in for
I mean-
400 yard.
What is that impression?
It's Troy.
Give Oshun, Troy. Give Oshun.
I need to hear more of Matt's Troy
I
impression.
mean, listen, if Eli gets another commercial, he could just own the Super Bowl again for the second year in a row.
oh my gosh, that was
Eli
beautiful.
and Peyton's definitely getting a commercial this year. Maybe
They
even
should.
Archie. They might all 3 just.
And Cooper. All 4.
Yeah,
cool.
but no one cares about Cooper though.
I
But,
watch his show sometimes.
Anyway.
All right, so that pretty much sums up
Yeah.
our Super Bowl talk.
We could be a little more excited, maybe. But
I'm excited to watch, the Rams get put in their place.
I don't
so
care.
mad
I'm
Anyway.
excited for
I-
the.
I'm just
AAF
excited for it to
league.
be over.
All right.
You know what I'm not excited for? Blaine to be there and punch the ceiling fan again.
Did you do that last year?
So we're gonna go. We're having
We're
a Super Bowl party.
a nice couple's house who lend their house
basement.
out for rock people to come and watch the game.
If you
Nice
don't know what
place.
Rock is, it's a group we have on campus that we're part
Yeah.
of.
Look it up.
At Reach Ohio on Instagram. You should follow us.
Anyway.
Anyway,
What?
we were there watching the game, and
And
Blaine is lying on the ground. All right, not even standing up.
And
Is
this
this
is
when Nick Foles is doing Nick Foles?
this
things?
is
pretty sure
this
Nick
is
Foles-
post knee injury.
Was it
too.
the Philly
I'm pretty
special?
It might have been the Philly special. It was probably at some point around there. Blaine jumps up and swings up, and there's a ceiling fan right above him. I'm pretty sure he just nicked it. Otherwise, he could have knocked it out a little bit.
Let me tell you, I started out last year rooting for the Eagles just because I liked Wentz and I got Wentz on my team, and on my fantasy team, and so they went all the way, and I was like, man, I really want Philly to win this game. and they did, and I was so happy. But let's talk about the AAF. It's opening this weekend. Next weekend.
I'm pretty darn
Sorry?
excited.
Blaine really wants to go to Orlando, but we're not letting him.
Yeah.
I mean, he can go, but we're not going with him.
Dude, tickets are $20, man. I
Yeah,
want to go.
But
I
then
wanna,
the flight
travel,
tickets,
yeah.
Yeah, the travel is the real
Listen,
thing. We're
that's
not
expensive,
loading.
It's better weather.
Hey,
but
AAF, if you want to sponsor us and send us to the game, we'd be cool with that.
I'd be
though.
down.
I'd be cool.
Any
They
game.
haven't gotten to hear our first plea because that episode. But anyway, you know,
Any game, honestly, I'll take any of them.
I think.
honestly, that'd
Yeah.
be amazing.
But I think we should talk about the opening game, which is between our favorite teams, except for Matt's, because
He likes the Steelers colors.
Yeah.
Who are
Boo.
they?
They're really great.
But the
Salt Lake?
No,
No,
Salt
it's-
Lake's the Stallions.
it's
They're
the-
blue.
their
Steamers?
uniforms are pretty good.
the
though.
Steamers.
I think that's what they
No.
are.
Is this
it's
the
the
fleet?
fleet.
The
The
fleet.
fleet.
The
Steamships.
San Diego Fleet or the something
Yeah,
like
San
that.
Diego
Fleet.
I love how
even
you don't know your favorite team.
I know they're the Fleet. and I
I'm
know they're
all
black
in
and
on my
yellow.
Orlando
Yeah,
Apollos,
the legends
baby.
are my background.
Listen, I'm all in. And
The Philadelphia Fusion are my background. Thank you very much. Esports.
Alright,
Second reference.
Second reference.
for the second time, that's esports. Anyway, so I think we should talk about, like, let's predict that game. I think the Apollos are gonna win.
I don't know enough about the AAF.
Steven-
Yeah, we
No one
No,
does.
we can't
we
make.
don't.
Yeah, literally, this is.
I'm super
It's the
excited.
very
that's why.
first game.
That's why we're really excited about this.
Yeah.
It's because we've finally get a new look at a new type of league. And I know there's a lot of them, but no one really cares about the CFL or arena
CFL is kinda
football or
weird.
whatever.
This is the new.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Good.
literally just an in between, like a G League, for players that couldn't quite cut it during their college years, and they were like on the tip,
Cusp.
just this close to making an NFL roster. Most of them, some of them were on NFL rosters. But I mean, it's just so neat that we actually get something new that's literally happening right after the NFL.
So, I'm in a sports management class at school, and we talk about this stuff all the time. And I got a question to pose for the table. So, of the AAF and the XFL, which is coming in 2020, which team has the
You mean
odds?
which league?
Or yeah, which league has the odds of becoming a G League esque for the NFL? And B, which or both or none is going to last? Which, if we look 5 years in the future, which one do you think is going to last?
I think it's going to be the AAF just because it's
For both,
It seems
or?
yes, it seems more sustainable than the XFL.
I think
the idea,
XFL is going to be more of a show.
yeah.
deal.
But then, how many people really want to go get their brains bashed in,
Yeah, exactly.
in the XFL? Like, that's not a sustainable model. It's something that people will watch like a reality show for a year or two, and then after that, once the novelty's worn out and everybody's, all the players are tired of it,
Right.
I think it'll fade. The AAF seems like a much more sustainable model. It just seems like something that would actually work. So that's
Yeah,
my bit.
I mean, I think it's set up to be way more of a G League than the XFL. And we don't have a whole lot of information about the XFL yet.
I mean,
Only that it's really coming out in 2020, and we don't even know if how many people are flocking to play for them yet. But I mean, the AF snuck up on us, and they've all got full rosters.
Yeah.
Of people that we've seen before,
and love.
from other teams, and enjoyed to watch. And I mean, I think it's just going to be easier for them to sell it to players, especially I mean, the Senior Bowl just happened. Like, how many people there are going to not be able, aren't going to make the cut for
Yeah.
an NFL roster, but maybe AAF was there scouting and they're like, hey, why don't you come join us?
Yeah, it'd be
Instead.
fun.
So, I agree with both of you, but hear me out.
Okay.
Nathan Peterman goes to the AAF. Because,
Yes.
let's be honest, you don't deserve to be
That's
in
a
the
hot
NFL.
take.
Who's he playing for?
And he becomes the next Tom Brady.
Maybe the Tom Brady of these
All right,
he
days.
just starts
all right.
winning
And we're done.
championships left
Nathan
and right.
Peterman over Cardale Jones? I don't
Well, Cardell
know.
Jones isn't there yet.
So you mean
Neither
to
is Peterman.
you
Yeah,
mean to
but-
tell me that if Nathan Peterman goes to the AAF and actually wins, that we would have to change the nature of the Nathan Peterman Player of the Week award?
No.
No. He was still,
I don't
he
know.
was still in the NFL, so we no.
We watched
gotta-
him in the
we gotta-
NFL.
We
It
have
was
two Nathan
pretty
Peterman
bad.
awards: one for the worst NFL Play of the Week, one for the best.
One for the best AAF, yes.
I like
that'd
it.
be
I like
great.
it a lot.
Moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about the NBA, and I'm introducing this because I am probably not going to talk much after this.
No.
I might throw my input in a little bit.
Doubt it.
I will say I did pick my NBA team. Go Nuggets, right?
The Nugs.
Yeah, baby. But
Victim Nugs.
let's talk a little bit about the Anthony Davis situation. So, like, he requested a trade, and like,
Well, he basically said, "I'm not re-signing."
Yeah.
Is it because
In
his
2
team is
years.
so bad?
It's because he wants to play on a championship quality team.
He wants to play on a competitive team.
Okay, I was gonna say how, because I'm still learning. So answer me this: how many times has he been like to the playoffs or done well in the playoffs?
Every time he's been healthy,
They've made it to
And
the
they're-
playoffs consistently.
see, in his 5 or 6 years, they've only went past the first round one time. And that was last year.
And
They
that was
sound
with
like-
Rondo, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
so
they usually play the
yeah, they
Warriors.
sound like the Bengals of the NBA.
They usually play the Warriors in the first round,
Which
and
does not help.
does not help at
So
all.
they get in as like a like eighth
AG
seed.
basically.
Yeah,
But besides last year, they were like fifth or something.
So I
Yeah.
can understand why he'd want to get a trade.
But this
honestly,
year-
they're not a terrible team.
They're-
Now they're pretty bad.
Yeah.
They've gotten a lot worse.
They're
this
22 and 28.
I feel so bad.
Ooh.
for
So in the
New
West,
Orleans.
you're pretty much just done.
Year. Yeah, imagine being
22.
New Orleans right now. You got screwed out of your conference championship, and now your best
The second-
NBA player.
The second best
ever
player
is
in New
leaving.
Orleans,
Sounds like Cleveland.
behind Drew Brees,
Yeah,
is
it
now
is.
like, I want to be gone. So yeah, that happened yesterday. They announced it. Noah, where do you think he's going to go?
Everyone's saying LA, but also anytime anyone wants to leave anywhere, they say, "Oh, they're going to LA."
Yeah.
Like that's always the first choice. And then it happened with Paul George, and guess what? He didn't go to LA.
He went to the Thunder and then re-signed with the Thunder.
Yeah.
All right, hear me out.
I mean, Kawhi might be going to the Clippers, but I don't think he's going to the Lakers.
No.
And honestly, I don't. There are a lot of places that I'm sure would love Anthony Davis because even if you have a good player at his position, you want Anthony Davis.
He's the top center in the league.
Yeah, he could be becoming like the second best player in the league right now, behind LeBron James.
It's hard to talk about who's the second best player because like you got LeBron and then you got
Everyone else.
like
Pretty
Kevin Durant, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
He's becoming one of the best
and
players
like
in the league.
Steph. Yeah,
Shut up,
but
he's not going to the Nuggets.
I know he's not going to the Nuggets, but hear me out.
he's not
He's
going.
going
He's
to
not going to the Cavs, Troy. I'm sorry.
the New
but
York
Dang it, I was going
Giants.
to channel Maynard Troy. I was going to be like, all right.
The
listen
Cavs
here.
have nothing to offer
Yeah.
the
He's going
Pelicans.
to go
The
to
Cavs,
the
the
Cavaliers.
Cavs are going to give him Kevin Love
And a
for
first round
Anthony
pick,
Davis.
I heard that the Pelicans want at least Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, and a first round pick
That's a lot.
just to talk about it.
And those are all like they're all under 25.
Oh, they're all like
Years,
second,
right?
third, first, or
Yeah,
second, third year
they're
players.
all young players and a first round draft pick. Like Anthony Davis is a young superstar right now, but
That's a lot.
that's
to
a
give
lot.
up.
And Kyle
Which
Kuzma's coming up. He's
I would
doing really well.
give up Ball, Ingram, and a first round pick.
Kuzma seems like too much. Like I honestly cutting it off at Kuzma seems like
because who are you
the
going
problem
to?
there.
Who are the Pelicans going to give up besides Anthony Davis?
Drew Holiday.
And like they're like I don't see that.
There's no one else
yeah,
there,
like
and they're not gonna send Julius Randle back.
that's true. And the Celtics have the best like young assets to give it, but they can't do any trades till the summer because
Yeah.
of some kind of rule.
NBA's
So,
weird
yeah.
about trades.
So I mean, the Pelicans don't have to trade him by the trade deadline. He can play out the rest of the year, and then the summer can come. But some people say that since he announced it now, that it gives the Lakers an advantage to make a trade. Because if he's there till the summer, the Celtics can make a pretty good trade.
Yeah.
Because they have better, younger talent, I think, than the Lakers. Because they would offer Jason Tatum, which would make me sad. But getting Anthony Davis in return, not a bad deal.
That'd be a pretty darn good deal.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
mean,
would
Horford-
give up Horford,
Horford's on his way
maybe
out.
Gordon Hayward, but I don't know because Hayward hasn't had time to prove him.
Quite
30
honestly,
million.
then this is coming from the outside looking in. If you could find a way to trade Gordon Hayward and get Anthony Davis and keep Jason Tatum, I would take that all
And
day.
re-sign Kyrie, like
Good luck.
because I'm pretty sure the Warriors after this year. I don't think all. I mean, Boogie's obviously going to be gone. They've already
Boogie will
said
be
that.
gone. I don't
I
think they
think-
keep Green.
I think Clay, even though he says that he might stay, I heard that if the Lakers get Davis, then he might sign with the Lakers, and you get LeBron,
But
Klay
then,
Thompson,
that'd be so
and Clay. I
boring.
think's underrated sometimes because we don't
Oh, yeah.
appreciate the value of what Clay does.
Well, if he thinks he's underrated, why would he go to a team that's starting a new Big Four, pretty much?
yeah,
Like then you're
turned
just
into-
overshadowed by the best player ever.
And then everyone
Quite
says,
honestly, the third best player in the league right now, and up and coming stars. Like I don't see the point in that.
everyone says the Knicks, but the Knicks are a mess. Like I wouldn't even want to touch New York.
Kyrie might be going. to the Knicks.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't.
He wants, for some reason, he wants to lead his own team and be the number one guy.
This is his
Which-
own team.
He doesn't. He doesn't think that. That's a,
Yeah.
I mean, and that
They've
was
had
the
some
problem with
struggles,
the
but
Cavs
He
and
also doesn't
LeBron.
think the world is round. So
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
never talk about that.
Isn't Kyrie like a not nice man?
a not nice man.
That's
Nah,
as
I mean,
far as
I
I'm
haven't
going.
heard-
Like,
I don't think
Or is
he's
he-
like a bad person.
Nah.
Or is he just too full of himself?
No, I think
he just wants to be the leader of his.
he just wants to
team.
win games. you
Wait,
know?
so is he not the leader of his team in Boston?
I mean,
He's
he's the best player on the team.
Yeah, but the problem is you got Jason Tatum coming up, you got Jaylen Brown coming
So,
up, you got
Al Horford's the
okay,
man.
so he sounds like to me as an outsider that he has a little bit of
He's butthurt because of LeBron.
no.
Nah.
He has a like a personality thing. I don't want to call it a disorder, but it sounds like he cares less about winning and cares more about just being the only good person on the team because then everyone else has to look
Well-
up to him and revere him.
Well, he
And
was
I
like
realize-
that.
Which is real
Listen,
weird.
I realize you don't know much about the NBA, but think about where he started with a awful Cavs team where he was the superstar.
They drafted him a year after LeBron left the first time.
Yeah. And like
And
he
they
came
were
in and it was like, holy
horrible.
crap, we actually have a good player. And like, honestly, he was, you could say he was the big fish in a small pond, but he was the whale in a mud puddle. Like,
Yeah.
he was an obvious superstar with nothing around him. And then LeBron came back. He
Kyrie
wasn't the
became
leader
better.
anymore, but Kyrie did get better.
But I would prefer to win.
It's,
But he did. He
Like,
wanted to
he's
be
got
the-
his ring now.
Yeah.
I want more.
Oh yeah.
Like
no.
I would rather be on a stacked team
I think he can
than
still
on
get
a
one more.
trash
Like,
one. I don't
Oh, I
know.
think he's going to get, he
if
has
he
a very
stays
good
in
shot.
Boston,
He has a very good
I
shot
think
with
they can-
Boston this year,
yeah.
I think.
I
I mean,
that's
Golden,
just my 2 cents. But.
Golden State, we can talk about this. But anyway, Anthony Davis, which is where this started. Like, honestly, I don't see him. It's really hard to know where he wants to go because if it is a trade, he doesn't really have. He has a choice, but he doesn't have like a very big choice
They
of
don't
where
have
he goes.
to trade him either.
No,
I mean, I don't know if they will.
Honestly,
or
they
not.
could
I've
hold
heard
on- hold
like
on to
different
him
stuff
to
here and
Wait,
there.
so is he a free agent at the end of the season?
Next,
Oh.
but he can like opt out of his contract. I think, or something like that.
I mean, he could always just hold out too.
Speaking of a big man, Blake Griffin wants to be traded out of the Detroit Pistons,
Really?
which the Pistons are bad, and it's in Michigan, so you know.
It's not.
Why
It's
not?
not a very good.
And
market.
I'm hearing that the Mavericks and the Nuggets might be interested.
Yeah, baby.
Ooh,
So, like,
that would
listen
be
to this.
interesting.
You get him, pair him back up with DeAndre Jordan and the boy Luca, and then they get rid of
Oh
Dennis
my.
Smith because he wants to be traded anyways, and
Why?
someone I don't know because they don't. I don't know.
You're not quite good enough yet, DSJ.
Yeah. Anyways, and then you bring a healthy Blake with
Yikes.
DeAndre and Luca, and then Dirk's last ride.
Where are they at in the standings right
They're
now?
not.
They're not in the playoffs yet. But I mean, we're
they're-
still. We
they're
haven't
not
even reached
like-
All-Star break.
They're like 22 and 27.
So they're.
They can still make a run, but
They're 6 games behind the Clippers right now, and the Clippers don't have anybody. So there's a good shot.
Tobias Harris.
Okay, they have Tobias Harris. Anyone else ever heard of Tobias Harris here at
Nope.
the table?
Why-
All right.
why-
Montrezl Harrell.
But like, why are you asking?
I'm
us?
sorry?
Bro.
But I mean, the season's not even half over yet. They have a shot of making the playoffs still. Luka's been playing
He's the
not
youngest,
like a rookie at all.
youngest player ever with a 30-point triple-double.
Yeah.
Rookie.
He
19.
has 3 triple doubles this year, doesn't he?
He has 2, I think.
Dude, that kid. Yeah, I saw that graphic. That kid's my age.
Yeah.
I'm over here not even knowing what I want to do in college, and that kid's making millions of dollars in the NBA setting records.
'Cause he's a
Also,
lot
he
better
played.
than
He
No.
played.
What am I
He
doing with
played
my life?
professional basketball in Europe though for a while though, but still, I mean, he's good.
Yeah, he's real
Like,
good.
Rookie of the year, obviously.
Obviously, I don't think there's much of a shot. I mean, Aiton's been playing better, but
Yeah, but
Luka's
you never
been
hear.
playing
I
well
never,
since
I
the
never
beginning.
hear about Ayton.
well, it's because the Suns are 11 and
Yeah, they're
41.
terrible. Yeah, that's true.
They're real bad.
So, speaking of the NBA, after that Anthony Davis talk, let's just talk about the West here. The West, It's pretty stacked, you know.
Pretty good
There's
side.
about 10, 11 teams that can make the playoffs. Sacramento's 25-25, and they're in the 10th seed. So you go to the East, the good old East, which is just top heavy, pretty much. And their 8th seed is 24-25.
Yeah, losing record at 8.
The 8th seed.
Losing record in the playoffs.
So when Durant went to the Warriors, LeBron went to the Lakers, everyone's going to the West. The beginning or last season in the offseason, they're like, why don't we just do 16 seeds, 1 through 16, East and West, just take out the Eastern Conference. I mean, still have the Eastern Conference and Western Conference.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
you don't take the 8 best from the East. You just take the best overall 16 seeds.
honestly, that would effectively cut out obviously the Heat and the Hornets right now, who are at a 500 and 490 record respectively, and it would bring in the Lakers and the Kings, and the Heat would have to they'd have to find a split there, and that would be your setup right now. So it honestly wouldn't change a whole
It'd be
lot.
some good matchups though,
And it would make it a
because
better,
it could be
a more
two
competitive
Western
set.
Conference. Because for me right now, looking at the NBA and the Western Conference, besides the Warriors, I don't know who can challenge them. I'm not like the Nuggets are good, but they don't have the experience, and I don't think they're quite there yet to take the Warriors 7 games. Rockets last year, yes,
They were very close,
but
but they're not.
I
there this
don't
year.
think they can do it this year. Even though James Harden's apparently playing out of his mind
Offensively.
I don't think so. If anyone's going to beat the Warriors, it's going to have to be from the East.
So I have a question about the way that this is structured. So you're saying that they're throwing around the idea of getting rid of 8 teams from each conference, right? And just doing the top 16 period.
They were talking about it.
Yes.
Yes.
If they did that, would they also change the schedule? Because in my brain, if you have people from the more difficult conference that have more difficult schedules, but you have people from the easier conference who have easier schedules, and you don't split them accordingly to make the playoffs, then wouldn't it throw off probabilities of making the playoffs for teams that are in the tougher conference?
Yeah, they would have to.
Quit mathing.
No,
I thought about that too, and they would have to change the schedule a little
yeah,
bit.
they would have to mark
I mean,
it so
yeah.
that you would play more across conference.
Which would be hard because in the playoffs, traveling East Coast to West
Right.
Coast,
Right.
it's a little rough.
Yeah.
So, but what would be the point of having conferences
Exactly.
if you're going to eliminate just conferences in the playoffs? Because if we're talking about the NFL, you have your divisions and you have your conferences.
Well, I mean, we're talking about doing this in college, though. They're talking about doing that in the NCAA, and maybe just making 4 super conferences,
So
and then that's it.
if
that
I
might make more sense, though.
if I may,
Go ahead.
the way esports does it.
For the third time,
No,
that's
listen,
esports.
Listen. So the way the Overwatch League did it is they had 2 divisions. They had the Pacific and the Atlantic.
Right.
And their first season there were 12 teams. And so I think the top 6 made the playoffs. It was top 8 or whatever. But the top 2 from each division made it. And then from there they had the shuffle of the best 4 regardless of division from that point. So in the NBA, if you did that, maybe the top 4 from each division,
That would make sense.
and then the other best 8.
'Cause that would do the exact same
I like
thing.
that a lot better.
It would kind of solve that problem of how do you work on the schedules, because you would still have the best from each division,
Yeah.
based on their schedules, and then from there it's a free for all.
I think that would work out real. I mean, it would,
are innovative.
well, it would take care of the problem of losing record teams unless it was a really down year in the NBA. And it would knock them out of the playoffs, and it would keep it so that winning your conference meant something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that would be a good idea. And honestly, at that point, all you got to really do is take out divisions.
Yes.
And it would just be 2 conferences, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which is fine with me, because I think divisions are stupid in the first place. Ohio State played Northwestern in their conference championship this year.
I mean, from a travel perspective, it makes sense.
It makes sense there, but even then,
There's just a lot to factor in if they're going to
Yeah.
do the whole.
And that's
16.
why math is important, kids. Because I bet the NBA has people crunching the numbers on this like crazy.
Because you don't want some crazy travel schedule where you're
Right,
west,
right.
west, east coast, west. Like that messes with someone.
Well, yeah, but I don't think it would have to. They'd have to like change it up all that much. If you keep it just conferences.
And then the playoffs, you can have like a day to rest, like they usually do in the finals
Right.
or something like that. So like it's not. But I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing like the
I mean, the
Warriors.
NFL's already
and-
kind of thrown that out the window with the Chargers going to LA and they had to go
Yeah.
to Baltimore back and then to Foxborough.
yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
Bad for the Chargers.
Yeah. So I mean,
Just win your division next year.
Ooh. Ooh.
And
ouch.
I like that that's an incentive in the NFL, though. Like, if you win your division...
Well, you get home field
You
advantage.
can stay
in
home.
this.
Oh, do
Home
you?
court. Yeah, it's a 7-game series, but you get the first 2 at home, and then you travel, and then
2-2.
2. No, what is it?
2-3-2.
Yeah.
No, it's 2-3 every other one.
Yeah.
What?
So if it does go to Game 7, you get the home.
So
court
Boston's
advantage.
playing Philadelphia.
So you
play
start
the
with
first,
the home field or home court, and then
Yes.
you end with home court.
Yes.
Yeah.
If
So
it goes
it's-
to 7.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like Boston, Boston, Philly, 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 Boston, Philly, Boston.
Yes.
Wait, why would you go...
So they go back and forth for the last 3?
Yeah.
Why
Oh,
would-
that sounds terrible.
Why would you...
Sounds terrible.
Well, that's what a
Go-
7-game series is like.
Why
That's
would
why
you,
it takes so long.
If you have home court advantage, why would you have less home court?
You
Okay.
don't.
You,
No,
have,
don't.
you play
You
4
do
games at home
4.
and 3 on the way. 3 away.
Home, away, home, away,
Which you do.
home.
It's the exact way in baseball too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides the wild card and best of 5 and all that stuff.
And home court advantage is very important in basketball because those rooms can get loud.
Oh, yeah.
Which I mean, it's important in football too.
Well,
but
yeah, but in football,
Baseball,
it's
I
a much
don't-
bigger space.
In baseball, I feel like it's not.
Baseball
as,
doesn't
as
matter.
important. Yeah.
The only thing that matters in baseball is the size of the field changes.
Yeah, basically.
Like if you're going from the Great American to Houston's baseball field, it's the difference of probably like 200 feet. Like it's a lot.
Yeah.
And
Or-
they have that little weird gap in their outfield. It's just weird.
I like it.
Do you?
It's all right.
But I think... I don't know. I think that was a good one.
Well, real
Anything else to
quick,
talk about?
I want to bring up that, I mean, since we're talking trades real quick, I want to touch on Memphis Grizzlies are talking about dealing Gasol and Conley. They're 2 main
Franchise.
They're franchise guys. And
I think they're just rebuild mode.
you think they're just done? I mean, they've been a very off and on playoff team.
Even when they make the playoffs, I'm not like, oh, they can win it all.
But here's the
Like,
thing, they're both getting up there in age. Where do they fit in anywhere else?
I mean, Marcus Gasol could be. I still think he has something left in him if he's with the right team.
Mhm.
He's like, what, 34, 35, maybe?
Probably.
Something like that.
He's the
I mean,
younger brother, right?
if- yeah, Paul's like almost 40.
Yeah.
But, like, if there's a team that needs a center, even as a backup, he can still. Mike Conley can still play, I think. Because he's.
Conley, he started out with a really good year.
Yeah. So, like, someone who needs a point guard, like. I mean, I know the Phoenix Suns need a point guard, but they're not in
No.
playoff contention.
That'd literally be trading down. 'Cause
Yeah.
the Grizz are right above them. Well, 9 games ahead of them in the league.
Like, I heard something about, like, Indiana. Because, like, Victor Oladipo's out this year.
Oh,
So you
that'd be
try to get
interesting.
Mike Conley for next year, or.
I mean, where are the Pacers
Miami.
right now?
Miami, they're.
Pacers are number
Third.
3 in the
Yeah.
East.
But we'll see how it goes because their best player's out for the year now.
Yeah.
So we'll
Oh,
see
yeah.
how that goes.
They've dropped in the power.
But like Miami, they need a point guard. You know, like Detroit's always, I think, need it. Like Reggie Jackson's a good backup,
alright.
but like that's just in the East. I mean, like in the West, San Antonio, but I don't see them making
I think,
some kind of move
honestly,
like that.
and I'm not doing this as a homer, but I mean, Portland has Seth as their backup. You get Mike Conley in there at backup.
Yeah.
I think that makes that a very dangerous team.
We gotta wrap this up. I have to go pick up my roommate. It's too cold for him to walk back.
Okay. Last thing.
Wait.
Could
pause,
you
pause
imagine?
that?
Just imagine like Utah. Like I know there's Ricky Rubio, but like get Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell.
I think honestly, Mike Conley's better than Ricky Rubio.
But yeah, I do too. But I mean, I don't know if it's a package deal. I don't know if they would send both of them to the same team or like how that's going to work with the
No,
Grizzlies.
I
It's
don't think
interesting
you
to see.
can.
I hope the trade deadline's good because last year was a good trade deadline.
Yeah.
Everyone went to the Cavs pretty much. But
And
like
it
this
didn't
year,
work.
yeah, no, it didn't work. But it's just we'll just see how it goes.
What if Mark and Paul reunite? And,
Oh man, the
and
Spurs,
with the Spurs,
LaMarcus Aldridge, and
they
Marc
become
Gasol.
once again the oldest team in the NBA.
They've probably been the.
still-
They're a little. Yeah,
They got a
they're still-
little younger, but not
Not
much. Isn't
much.
Rudy Gay on their team now?
Yeah, he's been there for a while.
Yeah, they're
Made his first playoff
old.
appearance last year. But yeah, I believe that is all for this week's episode of Sorta Stupid
Kind of a
Podcast.
slow week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a whole lot to talk about.
Special
Next
thanks
week
to-
will be interesting for the Super Bowl.
Special thanks to Emily for doing
Emma.
the intro.
Her name's Emma.
Oof.
I thought she said Emily. I don't know.
Emma,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Leaving it in.
And see you guys next week.
Woo! We out.
Yeet.
All right, let's go.
Oh my gosh, Blaine.